Morning, folks. Today's Wednesday, hump day. Here's this video is going to be face lather. At least I'm going to attempt to. We'll see how it works out for me. And I'm going to use the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Atomic Age Bay Rum soap stick. And we're going to use off camera the Atomic Age. This is going to be the Bay Rum Star Jelly. Good stuff. I can't say enough about this one here. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's like a balm, except for as soon as you start to apply it to your face, it just kind of disappears, which is, for some people, they probably appreciate that a little bit more. It doesn't take quite as much effort to work it into the skin as maybe, I guess you might say, one that looks like a milky white type bay rum. It just depends on, not bay rum, but, aftershave balm. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Bay rum, it's just the scent. I really like bay rum scents. I don't do a whole lot of videos with them because I could do forever many shades with a bay rum. This one here is really nice, pleasant. I've got a link down below if you want to check out the soap description. Tongue-tied this morning. In a way, I'm kind of a little bit nervous. I'm not the best at face lathering, so hopefully this will work out well. The brush I'm going to be using is this one here is, I guess you might say, a new old stock. It was when I got it. This will be the second time using it, and it is a Barbershop, and I don't know that this camera is going to do it any justice. It's a boar knot, and just underneath there in teeny tiny print, it has a W for West Germany. And I've got I think a total of 3 of these now. I think the first one I went ahead and re-knotted, but because the knot was pretty sad shape. But this one here, and I got another one that is similar to this, but it doesn't say West Germany underneath it. The one that I re-knotted had a sticker as opposed to being printed right onto the plastic there. And but anyway, over the years, I know it's probably changed somewhat. As goes for where it was made at. I got a link down below also if you want to check out a good, I guess you might say, a good photo of this particular brush. Shaver of the day. I picked this one here for a good reason because, like I say, I'm not the best at face lathering. We'll see how it goes today, especially with my routine that I'm using a Preshave soap and using the Broman this morning. Now, if you're seriously interested in the Broman, it takes a single, it just takes half of a DE blade, and it's got a flexible head there. If you're really interested in it, I could be wrong, but I think I couldn't find anybody that had it in stock outside of the Stray Whisker, which is located in Australia. So if you're really interested in getting one, that would be the website to go to, but make sure you're sitting down. It's not inexpensive. If I looked at it right, but if my memory's correct, I think it's near the $80 mark. Now, the one I got, how can you see, right out of the gate, and yes, it did take a moment for it to get here. There were some shipping issues back in the day when I ordered this, but got this one here, of course, with the stand. And you can kind of tell it opens up here, and inside you can place your used blades in there, as well as your new ones if you wanted to use it for a travel razor. It is very mild. Here's what's left of the Holliday Preshave cube. It is a very mild shaver, and so just in case if I struggled with getting the lather where it needed to be, I figured maybe this would be a good razor to use. And not only that, it's it's kind of sort of a automatic pilot type razor. Don't really have to pay a whole lot of attention to your angle or the pressure. Not saying you can't cut yourself with it, but you would have to work at it in order to do it. But the website, the Broman website, they've been out of stock, I would have to say, over a year now. So I really don't know what's going on with the I guess you might say, with the production. It's for me, it's kind of, I guess you might say, perplexing. I kind of get the impression that maybe they're not making them anymore. It's hard for me to figure it out. Go ahead and get started here. This brush, I've squeezed out most of the water, so it's just a damp brush. And typically what I would do if I wasn't using Preshave, I would just apply the soap directly to my face and then add a little bit to the brush itself. So I might be going back to the stick partway through the shave, depending on how well this works out for me. Don't know if I'm getting enough soap on here now. That's the trick for me, is making sure you get plenty of soap. And if you're already applying it to the face, then to the brush, there's a good chance that you are going to get plenty. We're going to go ahead and start with this and see how it works up. With the pre-shave soap on there, you're already going to get a little bit of a lather to begin with. Like I say, I did squeeze out most of the water. There's still some in there, not a whole lot, but there's still enough where it goes everywhere. This scent is it is beautiful scent. If you read down on the link that I've got, where Douglas writes up, I guess you might say, his effort to create, I guess you might say, the best bay rum scent. It is, for me, it really is appreciated. I enjoy bay rum scents. If you caught one of my earlier videos talking about bay rum, when I first started wet shaving or traditional shaving, my wife was somewhat concerned that the whole den was going to be bay rum. And I don't even have as much bay rum as I'd like to have. I really try not to get too much of it, because like I say, I really do enjoy it. There is another company, I probably should make sure I get a link down below if I pronounce it correctly. Ogallala, something like that. I'll put a link down below. They've got various different types of bay rum, and it's also in stick form. So if that is of interest to you, you might want to check them out. I'll try to get a link down below. At least last time I checked, they had stick soap, puck form also, as well as an aftershave balm. All right, go ahead and with this and see how this works out. This shaver, oh, the blade, Personna X series, sorry, almost forgot. That's what it comes wrapped in. You can get the Personna X series blade pre-cut, ready to go. You don't even have to snap them in half or anything like that. I'll try to make sure I get a link down below in case you're interested in checking them out. But this shaver is a mild shaver. How can I say? I don't think anybody's accused this razor of being anything else other than a mild shaver. But very easy to use. Like I say, it is one that you can put on automatic pilot and don't have to worry too much about the pressure, because it's going to require a bit more pressure than what you're accustomed to with a traditional razor. The scent sure is nice, though. Can't say enough about the scent. There are so many different bay rums out there. This one here, West Indies herbs, spices. I can't remember what else he mentioned in there to give you some sort of idea of where he went, what direction he went with this particular scent. It is really nice. And of course, this particular stick is Crown King version. There are, if you go to the website, there are, as it goes for soap sticks, there's Diver Down that's available, as well as I think Future Fiction, two of those. Now those two soap sticks are just wrapped in foil, if you will, but Diver Down and Atomic Age Bay Rum is in a plastic container. If that makes a difference to you. I think the Future Fiction, I think you get 2 of them for the price that's advertised, if I remember correctly, if I got it straight in my head. Oh, yes. At the very beginning of the links that I've got down below, I've got a couple of links that you really probably ought to check out. The first one is Jim Rowe. I got a link down to his YouTube video. He's introducing or showing I guess you might say, a new single edge razor, and you really should check it out. It is very unique in its design. It's very unique. See, it's got 1, 2, 3. It's got, so in other words, it's got the cap. We'll call the other one the tray, a base plate, a spring, a handle, and yeah, it's got all that. It takes gym style blades. Very unique shaver, and I won't spoil any more of it. You really should check it out, though. It is very unique. Good looking razor, too. If you've seen some of these single edge shavers from various other folks, kind of reminds me of Thor's hammer. It's got a wee bit of a head. Now, if I remember correctly, all of it's aluminum. It is a good looking razor, though. Very unique. It piqued my interest, that's for sure. Another link I've got down below, and it will be to the company's website, is see if I can't get this to work out just a little bit more. Another one is it's a twin blade. It uses one single edge, one double-edged safety razor blade, and you'll have to check out the link. Maxwell June, I think, is the name of the razor, twin blade safety razor. It's quite a setup. You really need to take a look at the video that's at the website to see how they take that double-edged safety razor and turn it into a twin blade, because the way the setup is it will automatically snap the blade in half for you and place it exactly where it needs to go. So in other words, the only time you really touch the blade is when you place it into the mechanism itself in order to, guess you might say, make it a twin blade. It is a very unique design. How I found that one there was by the way of Sharpologist. He was doing a bit of a review of it, and I just thought, I would share that part with everybody because it is a very unique razor. If you are interested in like a cartridge type razor and that's what you're using right now, and if you're looking for something to get away from the plastic and disposable and all that sort of thing, that one there just might be up your alley. Yeah, of course, the startup cost when it comes to traditional shaving, sometimes it can be a little sticker shock, cost prohibitive in the beginning until you get past the point that that razor is going to last you a good long moment. I think for the whole setup, which you don't have to buy the whole setup if you don't want to, run you about $100, and that's at a reduced price. Excuse me, nose is itching too. But it is a very unique razor. Like I said, it uses double-edged safety blades, so that's in itself is going to be inexpensive in the long run. Like I say, initially, yeah, $100 is a bit to be thrown out, but when you start figuring that over the course of, let's say, like 20 years or so, yeah, your savings is going to start to add up, especially using double-edged safety edge blades. Boy, those, you can get some that's pretty darn cheap. Just like this razor here, with single edge razors that take half of a DE blade, and if you got some blades that maybe you feel like are a little bit too aggressive for you, like maybe a feather blade or something along those lines, it does. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more soap here for my third pass. You can get by using a feather blade in this particular shaver and get several shaves out of the one half of that blade that you're using. Depends on what you're using, or what kind of lather you're used to using. For me, not doing too terribly bad. Could probably stand to spend a bit more time working up the lather on my face from the start. Like I say, this is also the second use for this particular brush. I used it yesterday, so it's not broke in by any means. And using a brush that's broke in or a synthetic, that probably would have been helpful, but I guess you might say I was working up to the challenge. It did about this good yesterday. Oh, yeah, so what soap did I use yesterday? I didn't use PAA. I really, how can you say, wanted to work up to a challenge, and this is the stick soap I use. This here, you can usually find it at Italian Barber, usually, not always. This is almost one of those kind of stick soaps that if you find it, you might want to buy it when you see it, because it's not always in stock, and sometimes it's out of stock for an extended period of time. It depends on where you buy it, when you find it, so on and so forth. I think it runs about $5 a stick, I think. Not the most expensive in the world by any means, because, for instance, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements stick soap here, this one here, I think runs right at $10. So, just depends on what you're wanting. This is a really easy-going shaver. I'll do another video here in the very near future with another single-edge shaver that takes half of a DE blade that is mild. You may have a hard time finding it. It's like this one here, but there's another one that'll be similar to it, and I'll talk about it when I do that video. But not everybody enjoys mild shavers. But it does help when you're trying to learn how to face lather, to use something that's not too terribly aggressive. That way, if it's a little bit off, your shave will still be fairly smooth. You can go over an area several times with this shaver. Like I said, if you got feather blades, this would be a good shaver to use them in. You can get several shaves out of a feather blade with one of these. Face feels pretty smooth. Easy going shave. Perhaps not the best lather in the world, but it's far from being the worst either. Worked well. Of course, we are talking about PAA. Phoenix Artisan Accoutrement soaps. I don't know if anybody that really complains about not getting enough slickness or anything quite like that. Always had good luck with their soaps. Very consistent. Nice soap base. And this is the just the Crown King version. This is not CK6. And I enjoyed this particular one. I guess you might say the original CK, if you will. It does really well for me. Oh, I should mention that the soap stick, as it goes for ounces, I think it's 2 1/4 ounces, which is about typical for a soap stick. And as expected, no stinging this morning. Not too bad considering I used a brush that wasn't broke in. Lather looked pretty good. Always can go back to the stick and add just a little bit more soap if you need to. Base feels good. We'll be following up with the Stirling unscented witch hazel that is mentholated. I do like this brush though. The handle is great. Fits in the hand quite nicely for me. always try to make sure, every once in a while I'll miss it and catch it when I'm cleaning up the brush, you know, my head's down, I look up and find some soap back here somewhere. Try to make sure I get that back there. I had a great shave, like I say, off camera, because once I put this in my hand, it starts to move quite rapidly. It's quick. I use this off camera, and usually I just take one pump, and that's plenty enough for it to put on my face. I had a great shave this morning. Didn't do too bad. Didn't do too bad face lathering. Hope everybody had fun watching this. Stay safe, stay healthy, and smooth shaves to you.